Talking with Quinn. Hey everyone, and welcome to a brand new video in the series Talking with Quinn. Of course, I'm your host, The Quinn, and even though it has been a while, I'm back with another inspirational interview for you. Today's guest is from Trinidad. He was an IT instructor and is now a web accessibility tester, and of course, he is from the blind community. So get your popcorn, sit back, relax as he shares his story with us. Stay tuned to hear what he does to help the blind community and the various opportunities that are available to you as a blind person. And as usual, look out for the bonus question at the end, where he will give app recommendations for blind users for both Android and iOS. But before I bring on our guest, please be sure to like the video if it inspires you and to share it with others who you think it would motivate. Subscribe if you're new, and also note that the instrumentals for this video have been provided by InnerSanctum Entertainment Ltd. Now, everyone, welcome to the stage, Kerryn Gunness. So Kerryn, what is your story? How exactly did you join the blind community?
Good day to everyone who listening at this time. Actually, I was born with this eye condition called optic nerve atrophy, where, in a nutshell, the optic nerve in the eye, which connects the physical eye to the brain, most of them are damaged, if not dead. So I was diagnosed with that. So it made me legally blind. Now, at the age of 3, when I went to kindergarten, it was discovered then and there that I had some challenges with the eyes. So from there, we visited eye doctors, eye specialists, and so on. And I can't remember exactly when it was diagnosed. Probably about 2 or 3 years after that. Probably when I was 5 or 6 years. I can't remember. But anyway, around then, it was diagnosed that I had optic nerve atrophy. So I technically, I would say from then I joined the community of persons who are blind or visually impaired.
Oh wow! So how was it for you growing up?
So I went through kindergarten, then I went to primary school. From there at that time it was called Common Entrance, where I went through, with the assistance of the teachers, principals, friends, and so on, and getting my work done, notes taken, classes, reading, understanding, and so forth. Then I went on to do Common Entrance at that time. After that, I went on to secondary. Before I went on to secondary, between primary school and secondary school, I went to the School for the Blind Children in Trinidad for the purpose of learning Braille, and was successful at primary school as well. And then I went on to secondary school, same system, where I got assistance from teachers, deans, principals, friends, colleagues at the school, and I wrote CXC pass subjects and so on, got some passes and so on, came out of there. I would say the experience in these schools were very, very welcoming and inclusive. I was not treated as somebody who is blind or differently. I was treated the same. I remember getting in trouble in primary school for cheating on an exam, or running all over the place at lunchtime. At primary school, with the children, from the time you get break time or lunchtime, you dismiss yourself and you go playing with other children and so on. At that time, there was like shooting with rubber bands and so on. You put paper in the rubber band and shooting people just for playing and for joking around, and all these things. And even in secondary school too, wearing t-shirts that have print on it and where you're not supposed to wear under your shirt. You're supposed to wear a plain shirt. Get called in the dean's office and so on. The usual thing. Then so it was a pretty normal life. Yes, no, there were challenges. I started receiving my books and so on cassettes at that time, through the assistance of the Trinidad and Tobago Blind Welfare Association.
Awesome! It seems that you enjoyed your childhood. So where did you go from there?
So after CXC, I wanted to get myself involved in the IT industry. I developed a likeness to it and started to like using the computer and so on. Where then after I was home for a little while and then went on to work at the Trinidad and Tobago Blind Welfare Association in 2004. But before that, I did some training in something called the Caribbean Council. Sorry, not the Caribbean Council for the Blind, the Civilian Conservation Corps. That's a training system we have in Trinidad where you go for 6 months and then you do 2 months induction, and then the 4 months you go to a place and then you do like on the job training. So before that, I did some installations of different technology software. I learned to do that in various libraries, through the WR Torres Foundation for the Blind at that time, where I learned to do using screen reading software and so on. And then went on to the CCC program. Then after that, straight into the TTBW, which is Trinidad and Tobago Blind Welfare Association, as a IT instructor. And from 2004 until 2021. Within that time, 2004 to 2021, what we did, or we do at the association at that time, and even now, we train persons who are blind or visually impaired, either children or adults, how to use the computer, smart devices, using screen reading technology. And also we do installation, software troubleshooting, we do consulting, we do website testing and so forth. I'll elaborate on that part just now. Within that period again, I received a certificate from the Caribbean Council for the Blind as an IT instructor. That would have been around 2004. Then I had an upgrade program in 2007. That program was done in 2004. I visited Barbados for that program, and then I revisited Jamaica to do an upgrade in 2007. So, and then, learning on my own as well, with persons assisting me from the TTBWA. I say Google is your best friend. YouTube videos and so on. Learning on your own, doing different classes and so forth. And then I acquired different certificates, like in terms of website designing, Python certificate and so on from different schools and so on.
Nice. So what are you doing now?
So currently, I have moved out of the teaching as of November this year. What I'm doing now is I still work at the Trinidad and Tobago Blind Welfare Association, yes, which I'm thankful for a number of years for their confidence and support in me. I do website testing, app testing, because as you know, and as the listeners know who are listening at this time, as we move with this COVID period, everything, or when I say everything, most of our daily activities are online. You have to pay a bill, you can do it online. You have to do online banking transaction, it is done there. You can order food online, have meetings online. Like for example, this meeting is being done online. Most activities are being done online. So by that, these apps, these websites must be accessible to someone or to a person who's blind or visually impaired. And by accessible, I mean simply the person who's blind or visually impaired can use the app or can use the device. So that's what I currently do at this time, and that is my passion. And beside that as well, we still conduct classes. We have other persons doing classes where we manage that as well, the IT classes, and same thing which I was doing before from 2004 until now. Even simply as Digicel, certain things in Digicel, certain things in KFC, are not accessible, and that's what we need now, because a lot of us have Digicel flow different services in our countries, right? And going forward, I'll continue in this because I see the market for this. I see where the need is for web accessibility, and I'm planning to become or pursue web accessibility specialist. And as I talked about earlier, Python. I love programming ever since growing up. In school days, I wanted to learn programming. So I'm glad I'm doing it at this time. Now I'm not a professional programmer or software engineer, but as one of the goals for the future, I know basic stuff at the moment. So making website accessible, you require some level of coding. So you have HTML background, you have the CSS background, basic stuff, and then I'm planning to learn JavaScript to make things, as I say, pretty on the website. Switching from stuff probably like large text to small text or color contrast. Now, as we're talking about that, those things are part of what you call web accessibility. Because remember, persons who are sighted don't need these things. They can just go on a website and look. But somebody who has low vision might see something better on a black background with white text. So, you must have ways, or JavaScript is one of the ways that you could click a link or click a button and the color contrast changes, or you can, depend on how you design your website and so on. So all this is required. All these procedures, you have to learn some level of coding or programming, and that is my thing.
So what was your biggest motivation, the thing that pushed you the most despite your disability?
One of the things I'll dwell on is helping persons who are blind or vision impaired, making life a bit easier. Because yes, as I was saying before, a sighted person could go on our app on their phones, their smartphones or computers or website, and get their business done, whether it's online banking, whether it's ordering a meal, whether it's shopping, etc. Now, if a person who is blind do the same and they go into our app or our website, they cannot use it, So that's a challenge that most of us have with a lot of websites today. And that's one of the things push me into moving away or switching towards this, as well as some persons at the TD where I work, they see that gift in me in order to get me to where I am. And not where I am, I'm able to move forward, because where I am is not where I want to be. You understand? So yeah, that's and the motivations, as well as I just want to say thanks to each and every one friends, family, especially workers at the TTBWA who assist me to reach my goals, to continue to achieve my goals. Everyone, friends, family, employees at the TTBWA and so forth.
What kind of advice do you have for persons, especially in the blind community, that are listening to you right now?
Don't look at yourself as somebody who is blind or someone who has a disability. Yes, you are not able to do the same thing as someone else, but you can do it differently. Now, I would agree that everything you cannot do differently. For example, simply as driving a car. I mean, soon to come, as everyone will know, they are developing a lot of self-driving cars and so on. But that is long to come yet in our part of the world. But anyway, don't look at yourself as someone having a disability, but look at it as you are doing it differently. And keep your head up. Find some niche. Find your niche. Find what you can do. One of the things that we see nowadays, screen reading technology. Now, everything that I talked about earlier, I can do it using a screen reader. I can use my smartphone using a screen reader. I can use my computer using a screen reader. I can listen to books with a device that has a screen reader. A lot of devices now comes accessible, meaning the person who is blind or vision impaired can use it. So technology can help you achieve your goals, right? You can become a secretary, administrative assistant. You can become a sound engineer. You can become a software engineer. You can become, a receptionist. All these sort of things. Yes, we know there are some jobs that you may not be able to do, but find a way to even open as simple as a business. There are ways to even open a business where you can manage a business and you have persons working for you. And again, you're using a technology to assist them. Now, if you are not technology inclined, there are many different things that you can do. You have different craft products that you can make and so on, and with your hands, because a lot of us persons who are blind or vision impaired, very, 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 very good with our hands. Craft like using cane, using pottery, using leather, and so on, to make a living. Remember, at the end of the day, you have to live. You have to live, and as well as even if you are academically inclined as well, you can go and do a certificate program, diploma, degree. Again, using your technology. Your technology can be able to help you to achieve your goals and break the barriers. So I would say, again, continuing, the sky is the limit, or the sky is not the limit. If you want, you could go beyond the skies. Whatever you want to do it. And as I say, this famous statement, one of our colleagues told me this once, if it is to be, it is up to me. I'll repeat that. If it is to be, it is up to me. So you have to make it happen. You yourself, you have to make it happen. Have to break the barriers. Have to do what you have to do to make goals. Because life is not easy. And mainly, believe in yourself. And also, there's a God who believes in you. And you need to trust Him. And He's able to put us on the right path as well.
What recommendations or suggestions do you have that would make life for a blind or visually impaired person more comfortable, easier, and more enjoyable?
Well, as we talked about earlier, my thing is technology. So there are many different aspects of technology. You have different apps like you can install on your smart devices, smartphones, apps, tablets, etc., where you are able to interact with your device and probably read documents, be a part of things, read news, so you are able to take part in news, take part in a discussion, what is going on today. Even if you are in school, you as I said before, you are able to go to school now, participate, get your courses, your CXC, your degree, your certificate program, whatever. Using these apps, using these devices, using these screen reading software on your phones, your computers, and so on, you can be able to be employed. You can be just to mention sports. I forgot to mention that as well. There are different sporting opportunities and options we have for persons who are blind now. You have different things like blind cricket and javelin, even goalball. I am as well involved in goalball. Excuse me. So you have different opportunities, and if you want to get involved at these exercise programs, because a lot of persons who are blind or vision impaired have a limited exercise program in their day-to-day activities, because some of us don't move around much and so on. So exercising is very, very important. And you have different things that you might say, I have nothing to exercise. No, that is again technology. You have different things available on YouTube where they're accessible, where you can have like this one. This particular one which I use is called Eyes Free Fitness, where you actually do stuff, and her program or the entire program is geared towards persons who are blind or vision impaired. Right? So you have different opportunities, you have different ways, you have different areas to get training programs as well. You have the Hardly School for the Blind. You have like different workshops. From there, you have courses that are free, correspondence courses. You have different places that give courses, like for example Udemy, at a very, very affordable price, like for example $9 as a particular example of one. You have like edX gives courses like for example just web accessibility, programming, and so on. I mean, it's not $9, but you can do it free, and if you want, you just pay a little more for the verified certificate. Anyway, you have different programs. You could go on and do Duolingo. Duolingo is an app that can teach you different languages. So you can learn English, and now, seeing that a lot of classes are online, you can stay at the comfort of your home. So it's an advantage to persons who are blind or vision impaired and do CXC classes. So you can learn English, Spanish, mathematics, etc., even tertiary studies and so on. So there are many, many, many different options. Even craft classes and so on are available, because a few weeks ago I saw bead making, like to make jewelry using beads and so on, being done in Trinidad, but that wasn't Zoom. But anyway, just giving you the options that can be done, and as things beginning to open back and so on in the world, the opportunities are there. It's just we have to take it.
Awesome. And I must admit, I am one of those persons that are guilty for not doing much exercise. So what app recommendations do you have for our listeners who are blind, for both Android and iOS?
There are many different apps that can make life easier on both devices. For example, you have the CVAS. CVAS is slowly coming on board within Trinidad and the Caribbean. That's an app that is designed by the CTU Caribbean Telecommunications Union, where persons can get real-time assistance with things, for example, reading documents, reading bottles, identifying colors, and so on, using your phone's camera. You have another one like that called Be My Eyes for both devices, Android and iPhones. CVAS is for both as well. You have do artificial intelligence. You have SuperSense. SuperSense is one for both devices. You could use your camera and take pictures and so on and have them read back to you. And also, this app can be used to, like, you receive a WhatsApp with a photo which contains text. It can scan the text and read the text for you. So you have various options that can be used on these devices to make your life easier.
Okay, awesome. So any last words for our listeners before we go?
Just, as I said before, keep your head up, find your niche, use the technology, and you'll achieve your goal.
Well, that is it, guys, for this episode of Talking with Quinn. Hopefully you enjoyed listening to today's guest and this video has been inspiring to you. If it has, be sure to like the video and to share it with all the persons that you know that it would motivate. Also, be sure to subscribe if you're new. Now, here is a word from our sponsors.
If you need instrumentals, recording, mixing or mastering, maybe a music video, photo shoot or graphic designing, need bouncy castles, face painting, popcorn, cotton candy or characters for the kids? Want to do online or offline promotion, maybe both? Let's print your t-shirts and everything else. Here at InnerSanctum Entertainment Ltd, we got you covered. Reach us on FB and Instagram at InnerSanctum Entertainment Ltd, YouTube at InnerSanctum Entertainment, and Twitter at iSanctum Studios. Or call us at 1-868-338-4123. That's 1-868-338-4123.
Well, guys, that's it for today. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.